Another celebrity, rapper 50 Cent, upset over a plan in New York City to spend $53 million by giving migrant families prepaid credit cards. The rapper says it makes no sense. And guess what? It might even motivate him to vote for Donald Trump.
So NYC launches a $53 million program to hand out money to migrants. This has caused some controversy. So your first question is, why the hell is the mayor of New York giving away $53 million to migrants? Well, here is his explanation.
And so I know that on the first brush, you look at it and say, oh, wait a minute, what are you doing? You're giving people cars? But once you dig into the numbers and in the line, you'll see that this was a smart policy shift that we're doing on a pilot project with 500 people. If this is successful, we're going to expand it even more so that we can we got to bring down the cost. 20% we want to bring down the cost, and their team are doing their job. So I told 50 Cent to hit me up. I would love to explain it to him so that he can go out and do another tweet of saying, you know what, Eric is just a smart manager, and now we understand why he was elected by the people of the city of New York to be the mayor. He may even write a song about me.
Okay. And I also want to say Joy Ann Reid did a wonderful response to Fiddy, where she really breaks it down. So I encourage everybody to look at that. And as the mayor said, this is a part of a $2 billion, up to almost $2 billion reduction in costs that the team has really pushed forward.
So the mayor and his team has told us to listen to Joy Reid's response to 50 Cent, and that's going to give us some more insight. So let's check it out.
Okay, guys. So rapper 50 Cent posted on his IG page, on his Instagram, this post, which talks about a $53 million program that the current mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, is launching to hand out prepaid debit cards to migrant families in New York. And he's quoting this New York Post article, the Rupert Murdoch-owned New York Post. Have to always throw that in, same people on Fox News, quoting this article about that program.
So I'm stopping it right here to point out that Joy has committed a logical fallacy known as the genetic fallacy. Now, the genetic fallacy is a logical error in which a claim or argument is accepted or rejected based solely on its origin or source, rather than its actual merit or substance. It is an attempt to invalidate or validate the truth of a statement by tracing it to its source or origin. Just because something comes from a particular source does not inherently make it true or false. So when Joy says this New York Post article, the Rupert Murdoch-owned New York Post, have to always throw that in, same people on Fox News. She is employing the genetic fallacy, making it seem like the information is false just based on the source.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Now, in the comments on 50's post, there are lots of people going off saying, you know, why are we giving this money to migrants when we're not giving that money to Americans? Lots and lots and lots of pro-Trump argle-bargle, because, of course, 50 ends his rant about it by saying maybe Trump is the answer. Really? Food waste. Food waste has been a major problem at migrant shelter city, with new arrivals coming from countries around the globe wanting culturally familiar food. More than 170,000 migrants have made their way to the 5 boroughs since the spring of 2022, and the tens of thousands in the city's care have raised concerns about the financial impact on city coffers. So basically, people are already coming anyway. Why are they coming? In part because of Ron DeSantis and the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, who are literally shipping migrants to blue cities like New York. So the reason that New York is now overrun with migrants from places like Venezuela is because they're being sent there by Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott, red state Trumpy MAGA governors.
Now, what Joy Reid has just told you is a lie. It is incorrect. The majority of migrants that are coming to New York from the southern border are not being sent by the governor. Yes, there are some, but they are a small percentage. And you know who I like to get to debunk liberals? Other liberals. Except these liberals actually care about the facts.
Okay, New York City specifically has a right to shelter policy, meaning anyone who asks for shelter must get the shelter, which has actually made New York a far more desirable place for these migrants to go to. So the dominant narrative so far had been, oh, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is the one who's busing all of these people or sending all of these people to New York City. But he actually accounts for a small fraction of the migrants who have arrived in New York City. So I want to take you to graphic 5 here, because as the New York Times reports, after crossing the southern border, thousands have made their way to New York with the help of officials in Texas. Governor Greg Abbott has sent thousands in a campaign to provoke outrage and force the federal government to tighten border security. So he has done that to an extent. However, Abbott's buses account for only a small fraction of the people who have arrived. El Paso, a Democrat-led city, has also sent new arrivals to New York at the migrants' request, officials there have said, and some people have made their own way. Essentially waiting to have the ability to work here legally, you're gonna need a place to stay. And so naturally, people are going to gravitate toward parts of the country that have these types of policies that are far more friendly to individuals in need of shelter.
And just a quick look at the numbers will easily let you know. For instance, there are 170,000 illegal migrants in New York City now. And out of that 170,000, 37,500 are from Texas. They've been bused from the governor of Texas to New York. So as you can see, the vast majority of migrants in New York City are not bused from Texas. They're coming on their own.
So the reason that New York is now overrun with migrants from places like Venezuela is because they're being sent there by Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott, red state Trumpy MAGA governors. Now, the program is going to be administered by an organization called Mofi. Who is Mofi? I mean, it's Black History Month. We do still support Black-owned businesses, right? A little bit more about Mofi. Mofi is the mobile capital finance company. It's a Black-owned digital banking platform that targets more than 50 million unbanked and underbanked people in the US. Today, they have enrolled more than 25,000 users, raised more than 60 million in seed rounds, collaborated with Fortune 100 companies, and established a presence in major US cities. So they open accounts for people who are underbanked, and that is overrepresented by Black folks. So to summarize, yes, New York City is going to spend $53 million, which is a fraction of New York City's budget, in order to make sure that the people they're already paying to house and feed in New York City shelters are able to pick their own food and buy it, rather than waste the food that they're mass serving in these shelters that's being thrown in the trash. They're going to partner with a Black-owned business and allow people to buy food at local bodegas, which is going to get those bodegas paid cash money. So they're saving money. They're doing what they already are doing anyway, spending less money on food, getting bodegas paid, and partnering with a Black-owned business.
So do you agree with Joy Reid? She's saying that, hey, everything's all right. We're paying for this stuff anyway. Now we're saving money. So, but she never addressed the actual issue. So here is Stephen A. Smith, essentially calling Joy Reid out, saying what the actual issue is.
Kind of fear, but a fear tinged with frustration. Because when you hear about migrants receiving $53 million in prepaid credit cards, the Eric Adams administration in the mayor's office in New York City will tell you it's going to save about $600,000 a month. But that's not how poor people are looking at it. You know what Black poor people are looking at it like? You know what Latinos who happen to be poor that arrived in this country are looking at it like? Where that money come from us? I could have used it. I could use the extra $500 a month. I could use the extra $1,000 a month. What it came down to for me is this. I see homeless folks in the streets of New York all the time that are American citizens. I damn sure see them in California. We've got poor, impoverished, starving people who were born and raised in this nation. How in the hell do we come up with a $53 million pilot program for illegals, but folks who are here legally are born here, we don't have enough for them? Just like we could come up with billions for Ukraine, but somehow, some way, we can't fix the homeless problem. I'm down for helping Israel. I'm down for helping address the situations with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, okay? I'm down for helping the Ukrainians and fighting off Russia. What about poor and desolate citizens here? How the hell do you print money for foreign countries, but you don't print that money to help eradicate folks that are starving right here in the streets of America who were born and raised here?
Now, also, the Breakfast Club responded to it. Remember, this is a show that Joe Biden went on and told the host, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. Here's that clip.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump.
Now, here's what the Breakfast Club had to say about the $53 million being given to migrants.
And I'm torn, right? Because you never want to see somebody without food or without housing, or, I mean, migrants have babies and you want to make sure that they're okay, that they can eat, that their kids are taken care of. But it's just always weird that, you know, we have so many homeless people in so many different places, right? New York is full of homeless people. Jersey's full of homeless people. I just, it feels crazy that we didn't take care of our own for years. And now it's like, you jump on migrants to help them so fast, and it's just like I see so many. You go to any city, no matter what city you go, you see the homelessness through the roof, and it just seems like, when do we help those people?
Yeah,
I'm not torn at all. America first. Okay, and I don't understand how nobody can understand why folks are upset about this. If you have a bunch of people who can't afford food themselves, like you just said, Envy, who are struggling to get food on the table, they might even have a hard time accessing those benefits themselves. They are going to be upset when they see someone getting those resources before them, especially when those people aren't from here. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
It's just that. And by the way, folks feel like this about anything. We feel like this about war. It don't matter if it's Israel, Ukraine, migrants. Anytime folks see large amounts of money being spent on anyone but them, they're going to feel away.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Well, humanity-wise, you just, you know, regardless if they're a migrant or not, you just don't want to see somebody starving.
Oh, of course.
You don't want to see somebody without housing, especially when you see them kids. But
don't cut the line.
You're right. I'm with you.
If we got so many homeless people here, people here starving.
Back in line.
You got to get in line. That's all we saying. Get in line.
Now, the interesting part about this whole video is that all the people you've heard are all on the left side. They are all the ones that saying what Joy Reid is saying is nonsense. She doesn't know what she's talking about. And the only person that agrees with Joy Reid happens to be the mayor, who's putting out this wacky policy. But let me know how you feel about this. Do you think it's okay? Do you think the city should spend $53 million, $100 million on migrants? And what about those disabled vets and those other people who we have here in poverty who need funds too? Do you think we could do one or the other? Do you think we should do both? Do you think the migrants should go to the back of the line? Let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to check to see if you're subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, at least hit the bell. Make sure that you get these videos because I keep pumping them out. With that said, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.